Before anybody jumps in this industry, they have one specific question that they always ask. How much money can I actually make in this industry? So this is the topic we are gonna focus on, and I'm gonna give you the best outline that you'll possibly see on YouTube. If you don't know who I am, my name is Swaggy C. I've been trading for the last decade, been in business for the last 5, made my first million at 25, and since then I've made 8 figures. So I know a thing or two about making money, specifically making money in trading. So the question, how much money, that's all I'm gonna do. How much money, that's it. How much money am I actually gonna make in trading, or can I make? Now, if we wanna just be very, very simple, of course the answer is infinite. However, I'm here to shift your mind on, you should not be trading if you think your mindset is, I'm gonna make, an infinite amount of money in trading, and 30 and 40 and 50 million dollars. No, when you're starting your journey out, a lot of people have this thing where I'm going to take a, 100K account to 20K. Chances are only a few people can do that. I wanna say flat out, you, this is in bold, are not flipping an account. You're just not. And there's some people who are going to do that, but for me, being in this industry for so long, how long I've been in here, I know the accurate, perfect way to actually grow in this industry. So let's fast forward in terms of, okay, you learn and you try things out, because people already know that. And if you don't know that, I'll summarize it in the next 60 seconds. All right, when you're learning, whether it's via YouTube and then you go to Baby Pips and you go to a course, actually learn, jump on a demo account, understand and get familiar with the platform you're trading on, whether it's MetaTrader or C-Trade or a broker like Forex.com and their platform, their web trader, whatever it may be, get acclimated on the demo account, and then you can jump to a live account to get and feel the actual real emotions, right? So, put $100 or $200 in an account, and don't trade that to flip it, but trade that in the mindset of, I'm going to understand how to actually trade, and when I'm actually trading real money, my emotions are going to get the best of me, and I got to see how my heart races. Once you get that under control, here's the outline I think that you should be following, flat out. Point number 1. I know this may be controversial, but getting a funded account is still the #1 way to supercharge your actual wealth in this industry. Why is that? Because you are able to pay a certain amount of money, whether it's $400, $500, $600, to get access to a 100K account, and then you can trade that. Why is that so important? You guys got to understand, if you, and let's do the math, just simple math right now. If you have, let's say, a $500 account, right? $500 account, right? And you made, let's say you made plus 10%, right? What is 10% of $500? Your profit is $50. Literally $50. That's your profit, right? Cool, whatever. Now, if you had a $100,000 account, and for those who are not familiar, you're not actually putting $100,000 up, you're paying $500 for the chance to get that. You take a series of tests, you pass the test, you get a 100K account. Once you get that account, if you make the same 10%, how much money did you just make? You made $10,000. That is a massive difference for the same percentage. All it is growth and compounding your actual account. Like, that's all it really is, shifting your mindset. And that applies for it all. And I can do it in half, right? Let's say I do this right now, right? That same $500 account, that same exact account, $500 account, let's say you made 20%, right? Let's say you made 20% on that account. What is 20% of 500? You made $100. Now, let's say I had a $100,000 account, right? 100K, there we go. And let's say I just made 1%. 1%. Not 5, not 10, not 20, 1%. How much is 1% of 100K? $1,000. So you see, the clear-cut way to actually make money in this industry is going the funded route. No matter if the industry's in turmoil and prop firms are like switching off and going under X, Y, and Z, find a reliable one and go this route. Now, the actual video, how much money can I actually make? Here's the thought process you should be doing, right? And I said this in one of my other videos as well, is right? Understand what your goal is. Like, is my goal to be a millionaire? Is my goal to make 6 figures? Is my goal to retire my mom? What is your goal, right? So, understand. Said this before, but understand what your actual goal is. Once you understand that, then reverse engineer. I don't know if it's like, if this is the way, reverse, right? Reverse engineer, right? Whatever that sign is, right? Reverse engineer and then go backwards, right? So let's just say your goal is $1 million, right? Your goal is $1 million, right? Flat out $1 million, right? Okay, cool. So let's say you had a 100K account. What a lot of people do is get several 100K accounts or several accounts. So 100K, 50K, 200K, 100K, all across the board. Like they split it across prop firms, right? So let's just say you got a 100K account, a 50K account, a 200K account, and then let's say another 100K account, right? Right? Now, in knowing this, people will do this. How much money would this actually cost you? This is probably 500. This is probably 300. So that's 800. This is probably 900. So that's 1,700. Another 5. So about $2,200 total, right? I can argue that in terms of how much money can you actually make trading this industry, you will make more putting that $2,200 across 4 firms versus trying to flip $2,200, right? Because there's so much of again, like I explained in the beginning, you can make the same percentage on these accounts versus the $2,200. It's gonna be a big difference on these accounts, right? So let's just say the goal was to make, you had a trade copy or whatever the case may be, you made 10% across all the accounts. That may not be every month, but let's just imagine this world, right? The question is how much can you actually make? And the goal is actually $1 million. Let's say you made 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, right? 10% of 100K, we already did it earlier, $10,000. 10% of 50K, $5,000. 10% of 200K, $20,000. And then over here, it's the same over there, $10,000. Now, obviously, there may be some months where you have a bad month, but in a fairy tale world, that's 10K, 15K, 35K, 45K. This is now. This is now 45K per month trading just on prop firms, right? Per month. How much is 45K per year? Do the math, right? So boom, if we're going off of, and this is how I do math when I don't have a calculator in my head, right? So 45K times 10 is 450,000, but then you add the extra 2 months because there's 12 months in the year. So 540K per year. You do this formula for 2 years, you made your $1 million. It's that simple. Now, and in the real world, it's not that simple because there may be some months you lose, some months you may blow the account, some months you got to get like a new prop firm account. But the reality is, there's several ways to go about it, right? Understand what your goal is and then reverse engineer. So let's say you get this 540. What I would argue at this point is use that 540, in my mind, to be smart. Because there's some people out there who, just love trading on its own. But what you don't want to do, let's say you like make all this money, yada, 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 then you don't know what to do with it. In my opinion, what you should do is invest in more accounts. But 2, because this is not a prop firm filled video, I'm not doing anything. I don't have like a prop firm affiliate, right, or anything like that. Like, there's none of that. I'm just giving you the realistic way to actually make money in this industry and then how much you actually can make, right? But number 2, invest. I'm not going to say invest. I'm going to say another word. Diversify. People always say don't diversify when you're starting out. You're not starting out at this point. You're already up 6 figures. You just made somebody's like 10-year salary in 1 year, right? So diversify. This, sorry. All right, cool. I'm gonna write this again. Diversify. What I mean by that is, out of this 540, remember, how much did we spend to get this 540? $2,200. We only spent $2,200 to get 540. That's a great ROI, right? Now, what I would say is, at this point, you can spend 5K. Let's double that. Double what you just did over here, basically, right? Spend 5K on multiple accounts. Boom, now you're good on that account. Now, but here's the kicker. The reason why I didn't say put 100K into multiple accounts, because you don't need that no more. What I would say at this point is use this to try to get to this again, that 540 again. Maybe it can be doubled because this was doubled basically, right? But the realistic solution, in my opinion, is out of that 540, put 250K into your own broker. I'm gonna type broker. The reason for this is because, like I said in the beginning about prop firms going under and switching to X, Y, and Z, making new rules, X, Y, and Z, you don't want to have so much risk, meaning there's a big chance you're not just going to just kill these firms every year for 5 years straight. Something's going to happen. They're going to email you and say, hey, like, you're doing so much, or we're going to make this rule about you, or we're going to A-book you, whatever the case may be. It's best to, once you make your money, put that into your own broker. Now there's no rules, there's no daily drawdown, there's no reset, there's no nothing. It's your own. So now out of that 250, and mind you, 250 is a random number. You can put 100K. Just put 6 figures into an account, because now we can do that same math we did in the actual beginning, right? So let's just say you actually put 250 into your own broker. Let's say you still go off that 10% that you were aiming for early and you successfully completed earlier. 10% of 250. Now your income at home without a prop firm, just you trading at home, is $25,000 a month. How much would your life change if you were making $25K a month, right? Now, again, this is a very simplistic way of looking at it, because the reality is not every single month is going to be a good month. Some months you may triple this and make $75K a month, and there may be some months where you make zero or you actually lose money. You got to take a break, right? So trading is not linear in terms of, if I do this, I'm gonna do this every single month. I'm just giving you a realistic and a simplistic, well, not realistic, a simplistic view of how you can look at it. Now, on the realistic side, this is all very, very, very realistic. When I said not realistic a few seconds ago, what I mean by that is like every single month won't be great. You may have some bad months, but I'm just giving you an example, right? So when I zoom out of all this, you can look at it, right? Now, you put 5K into investing in more accounts, right? That could be other firms or just you yourself, right? You put 250 into your own broker, right? So out of the 540 that we made earlier, we spent $5,000, and we spent, or not even spent, right? Technically, this is not spending because you're not spending it on chains or anything like that. I really won't make you no more money. You basically invested this into other accounts, and you basically invested $250,000 into other accounts, right? So basically, the money you spent is all reinvested, right? And that's what, people, mentors, billionaires, millionaires have, taught me and instilled in me, whether it's through books, whether it's face-to-face, that when people make money, broke people spend the money. Actually, this is going to be a good point. This may be a game changer for you, right? Broke people, when they make money, when they make money, they spend it and invest what's left. This is why I did it earlier, because this is not that. Rich people make money, they invest it, and then they spend what's left, right? Spend what's left on luxuries, whatever you want to do, yada, yada, yada. But a lot of people will make $10,000 and they'll spend $9,000 of it on vacations or X, Y, Z, or a new watch, X, Y, Z, and then invest $1,000 and then think their career is going to blow up over $1,000. Rich people, out of that 10,000, now obviously if you're rich, you got a lot more than 10,000, but just bear with me, just imagine, right? Out of that 10,000, they may be investing 7,000 of it, 70%, 60%, and then spending the extra 30%, the extra 40%. It's a big difference, right? So back to what I did over here, right? Bring that back. So out of that 540,000, and then you subtract 250 and 5,000, I'm gonna do it in my head, literally 50, 250, 290, 295,000 is left. So 295,000, actually maybe wrong. 540, 250 plus 50, oh, it's 40. Sorry, that was wrong. So, 285, I was off by 10,000. All right, 285. So 285 is left. Now, out of this 285 from the year, right? Out of the 285 you spent from the entire year, right? Or you made for the year after investing this, feel free to do whatever you want with this, right? Now, live, travel, gifts, whatever you want to do, right? But this is your money. So we go back to the point on how much money can I actually make in trading. The realistic answer is how much money do you want to make, right? I'm not talking about how much money that like, oh, I would love to make $1 billion. We're not talking about that. Be realistic for a second, and making $1 billion is realistic, but what I'm saying by that is that's not going to come from trading, right? You look at all the billionaires, how many billionaires come from trading? The majority are from tech, right? Social media sites, XYZ, tech companies, software companies, real estate. It's not trading, right? Trading will make you $1 million, but it won't make you $1 billion. So you'd have to, another conversation for another day, then you have to go from trading to business, right? That's another conversation for another day, right? But for here, how much money can you actually make in trading? Figure that part out in terms of, if you want to make 100K, I'm here to tell you that is more than doable. Following this outline below, right, or above, right, that's more than doable. If it's 500K, more than doable. And what I would say is, I said it in another video, I had a one-on-one with Ty Lopez, and he asked me how much money I want to make in the next 5 years between trading and business. I said around $50 million, and he laughed at me and said, I like you because you have small money thinking. You think too small. Like, it should be bigger than that, right? So with you guys, the reality situation is, if your goal is, like, because you come from an area where, like, you know, it's a lot, if your goal is to make, let's just say 200K, because you make, you know, 65K from your job, it's 200K, you can reverse engineer, we just reverse engineered $1 million. You can reverse engineer 200K. Now, when you get the 200K, do this same formula. How much money do I want to make now? Because when you get to 200K, you'll see, you may not think it now, because you may think, oh, if I make 200K every single year of my life, I'd be happy and live a great life. You're saying that when you're broke. But when you actually make the 200K, you're going to see, and when you do this again, okay, 200K wasn't that hard to get there. Okay, now my goal is actually, you know, let's do 600K. And then when you get to 600K, you're going to do it again, and you're going to say, I just want to be a millionaire, right? 600K. Then I want to be a millionaire. Then I want to make, like, it just keeps going up and up and up. But figure out how much you want to make right now, and then do this plan. Figure out 1 million, 500K, 100K, then reverse engineer using prop firms, then switch prop firms to your own broker, then switch from your own broker, keep that there, live off of what's left after you invested first, and then try to get into potentially a new industry, a new skill, a business, whatever the case may be. With me, last thing I'll say, because I know that I've been talking for a long time, last thing I'll say is for me, I went from trading, once I made my 6 figures into trading, then I went into business, then when I did that, it's like now I like the balance of trading and business. I can make millions from trading, I can make millions with business, they go together. If my trading is bad, the business is great. If the business sales are low, trading is good. Like they go together, right? So it's always good, which is why I said earlier, if you see here, what's one of the things I said, right? Diversify, but that comes after you hit your goal. So to end the video, how much money can you actually make into trading? That is for you to decide. But whatever that answer is, you absolutely can do it. What you can't do is try to think I'm going to flip a $200 account to 200K. What you can't do is say, oh, I want to make 20 million through trading. And this is actually the last thing I'm going to say, sorry, is that if you say, oh, I want to make 25 million through trading, when you make the 540K, it's not going to be like a big deal because your goal is so massively high. Like, oh, I want to make 20 million. Start somewhere where it's like, okay, I can reach this if I really lock in for the next 2 or 3 years. Once you get there, then raise it up. But don't be like, oh, I want to make 25 million, because then you got to ask yourself, are you okay with waiting 30 years? I went to an Alex Hormozi workshop, and he said, I haven't met a business yet that couldn't make $1 billion. So there was a hair salon woman and a couple in there, and he said, if you want to be a billionaire, okay, are you going to be okay with over the next 30 years opening up a bunch of locations, but being okay that you're not going to hit $1 billion until 30 years from now? You're 30 years old until you're 60? Like, so when you make the ask that big, you have to delay how much you're willing to wait for it. But when your ask is like, oh, I just want to start with $1 million, start with 100K, start with 500K, and then when I get there, raise it up, that's more doable, because if you make 40,000 out of 100K, you're so close to your goal, you start going harder and harder. When you make 40,000 out of 25 million, it seems like a little blip and you're not even close to it. So that's how you structure your goals. That's how you get to where you want to get to. And that is how you can make a good amount of money in trading following this outline. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and later guys. What's up guys, if you like that video, please do me a favor and subscribe down below, like and leave a comment, because that's the only way I get feedback. And if you guys enjoy these type of videos, I just started these type of videos with the whiteboard, so if you guys like it, please leave a comment so me and Connor know to make more of them. My only goal is to make financial literacy available to you all, because I grew up homeless and didn't really have money, and I have that through my Deep Pockets platform and for here on YouTube, so you guys can learn what they don't teach us in school, what they should be teaching us in school. Instead of the Pythagorean theorem, we should be learning stuff like this. So I appreciate you guys, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.